chida, bacán, chévere e inteligente como tú. Presentamos la nueva Ford F-150 2021.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Verizon Frontline, the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
Every day could use a little more brightness. So add a splash of Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice. With 100% of your daily dose of vitamin C, its delicious fresh taste helps brighten your day. Tropicana. Sip your sunshine.
LegalZoom knows that you're an awesome designer, or coder, or driver, or haberdasher. Whatever you are, you're killing it. But once you have your own business, you've also got to be a contract expert, a lease expert, and a million other things. And you're not, because you're a designer. Well, LegalZoom's business advisory plan gives you ongoing legal support for less than $40 a month. And even though LegalZoom is not a law firm, we can connect you with a network of attorneys across all 50 states, which means you can officially go back to doing what you love. LegalZoom.
What's going on, everybody? Let's give me a second here. Let me get started. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, I am. It's 5 minutes past, so we'll get started. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm exhausted. I'm still worn out from my last week's vacation. So we'll kind of get into it. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's on that wants to be on. If not, they could catch the recording. Yeah. Yep. I had a very long weekend. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, it was a long week. It was definitely an adventure, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm glad I'm back home. I'm back at my pillow, back at my own bed. It was it was a long trip with long hours, with long kids, and lots of money. So that's we'll just say that. All right, let's get into it though. What's up, man? How's everybody doing? The week's already starting out pretty good. I'm going to recap some. Actually, I only took a Euro GBP trade yesterday. I caught a 1 to 60 on it, and I'm currently in a second position off the LPS. But we'll go over that. Kind of recap the 3 trades that I'm still holding from the previous week, and what I'm looking up for this week. All right. Did I say a 1 to 60? Yeah. It was a 1 to 60 EG. So, cool. All right. Yep. We'll get into it. Real quick, just the economic calendar. Really, it's just a bunch of US dollar news coming up for tomorrow. And then tomorrow night is going to be the essentially it's the NFP for the Australian dollar. So it's their unemployment rate. So with that in mind, I am looking at some Australian pairs. All right. That's pretty much all I'm looking at. That's all I'm looking at for the week, though. All right. We'll kind of get into it. All right. Let me get through my watch list, and then if you guys have anything, we'll take a look at it. All right. I see you got US 30 up there. We'll take a look at US 30. Yeah, we'll take a look at US 30 as well. I'll tell you right now, the only issue I have with like the indices minus Nasdaq, which I'm still holding, is I just have no idea where the heck to take this thing to. You know, we're at all-time highs, S&P and US 30. So, you know, it is what it is. All right. So let's do a recap. All right. Active orders, what I'm currently still holding from last week. I really didn't do a lot of trading last week. I'll tell you right now. I only got one position. Everything else was just holding over. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna avoid the chat. I won't answer anything until I'm through this, and then I'll catch up. All right. So I am still holding from this 10-minute open down in here. NJ, obviously we've really got some really nice bullish order flow. So everything is looking on the up and up. I am still targeting a new high up here. All right. So we did create this high. We came in and obviously gave a type 2 schematic. From there, we had a reaccumulation with the creek. And obviously, there was an opportunity to take a second entry here. I just didn't take it. All right. I don't know why I didn't take it, but I'm not in it. What I am in is off that 10-minute. All right. It's the extreme of the leg. Came into this 10-minute candle right here. All right. All right. So, for now, what I'm looking at is I am looking for one of two things, right? I am looking for price to trade into this box right here, or I am waiting for an accumulation in here. Now you can kind of see what my thought process is. I want to see us trade and get above this high, because if we get above this high, this is going to be the extreme that I want to try to get another entry from. Okay. But on NJ, I'm kind of stuck between 2 points, right? I've got an alert up here for us to make a new high. And then I would also potentially take an accumulation from here if we get it. It looks like right now what it looks like, it's going to be a reaccumulation from here. So it looks like we're attempting to distribute. Maybe price gives one more push down. We have a creek. So if we do get that creek, what I'd be looking for is, this is kind of the price action that we're seeing right now. So I would want to see price jump the creek and break structure. And then whatever happens in that shakeout, I want to see a mitigation to go higher. All right. So that's kind of what my play is going to be. I am targeting higher prices on NJ. And we'll go from there. All right. All right, cool. All right. So the other one I'm holding is Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, honestly, this was a pretty easy trade setup. We came in, we had a really nice accumulation, we broke structure, carryover from last week. It's not the greatest R to R on it. It's only a 1 to 11 right now, almost a 1 to 12. It's a little over, it's almost 900 pips in profit. But the stop loss was huge. The stop loss was 76 pips. So with the spread, I think it was like 77 and a half. So it's not the greatest R to R. I am still targeting 14,000. Right. Last week I said I wanted to potentially see if we can get into a sell off of it. But yeah, 14,000. I want all-time highs. All right. And if that's the case, we take it up to a 1 to 22, which, for indices is a little modest. All right. Right now, I'll tell you what I am personally looking at. I was pretty interested in taking a buy from in here. You could see it came just short of my point of interest. My alarm never went off. So the next thing now on the order flow side, what have we done, right? We've made a new high. So if we've made a new high, what caused that high? Well, we know that this is the extreme of the high, right? This is the extreme of this leg on the order flow side. And this reaccumulation is what caused and propelled that break of structure, all right? Or that break of a new high. So what I'd be looking at, you could see I got my alert set right here. If price tomorrow, because I'm not interested in trading it right now, if price tomorrow comes down and gives us a schematic in this area here, anywhere between like 12,900 and 13,000, I would be interested in taking it higher to targeting 14,000. All right. If it doesn't give us a schematic, I will be looking in this lower end down here. All right. You could see, what do we have? We have 3 wicks, right? Those 3 wicks tell me that on a lower time frame, we have a type 2 schematic. All right. So if we just kind of dip into this lower time frame, if we dip down into the lower time frame, we're going to see a type 2 schematic. And here's your type 2 schematic. All right. So here's your type 2, right? We have, actually, I guess I should draw my lines a little straighter. Here's your type 2. You have your selling climax to your automatic rally. You have a secondary test. You have a secondary test in phase B, right? And then price ends up leaving. So just looking off of the 1 minute, what I'd be looking at if price does return in here, we are sitting on some really good imbalance right in here. All right. So we'll send this into the future. All right. I do like this 1 minute candle. Let me just see what the 2 minute looks like. 2 minutes there. What's the 3? What's that 4 look like? Yeah, it's going to be, if there's anything, it's going to be off that 1 minute. Let's just see. Does that line up with 50%? Sure does. Okay. So yeah, I'll tell you right now what I'd be looking at. So that 5 minute candle, 50% of the 5 minute candle would fill the 1 minute imbalance. I'll tell you right now, I already like it. I would potentially be setting a limit off of this. This would be the extreme of the order flow leg. So let me just screenshot this real quick because I haven't really marked it up. Okay, so this 5 minute candle is what I'm looking at. That 50% lines up pretty nicely. All right, and we did have a schematic in there, so we know that that's a good demand zone. That's where buyers came into the market. So I'm 100%. I'm good with that. All right, higher time frame. Let's see. For me, what makes a candle mitigated? Price has to trade into that candle. Yeah, there has to be no imbalance left. So, like, if you really want to ensure that there's no imbalance, use the volume profile. It'll show you what the contracts are there, and if there's, what I've back tested is if there's more than a 3 contract discrepancy, then there's an imbalance. So yeah, so like if we go to that 1 minute, right, just to show you, right, if we go to that 1 minute where I've got the yellow box, we've got an imbalance. There's no price action in here, right? This candle right here was all buys. There was no sells offered in there, so it's inefficient. All right. So yeah, I do like this. I do like this position off the 50%. And my risk, obviously, my risk will have to be the bottom of this. So man, that is not too bad. All right. I mean, depending on your spread, it's less than 20 points. So yeah, it's less than 20 points. So if we take this up to, let's just say 14,000, like I want to take it up to, right there, that'd be a 1 to 68. So I'll say I can bite that off. I'm good with that. I'm not going to complain too much if that goes for a 1 to 68. Yeah, I wouldn't argue too much about it. I like it, but you could see we're a ways from it. So my first point of interest that I'd be looking at is sitting right in here. So if we get a schematic in here, absolutely, I'll play ball and I'll take it up. All right. If not, I'm going to set a limit off of that, and I am going to give me a second. I just got to write myself a note to set a limit before I go to bed on Nasdaq, just in case. Where am I looking for price to come into? Yeah. This area right here. All right. EG. Yeah, I haven't gone over EG yet. I'm mixing it up. I'm working backwards today. So we just went over NJ. Nothing different than what we covered this morning on the Zoom. So, but yeah, I do like Nasdaq. I like it going higher. Like I said, I am targeting. I want to see if we can get above. I want to see if we can get above this distro, right? I want to see if we can get through that distro. This area right here. So when we do get into like 13,500, that's where I'm really going to start to look at partials. And if we do see price attempting to distribute out of here, I will get into the sell, hedge the sell, get into that test. Once it goes, makes a new low, I'll go to break even and I'll just close out of the buy. All right. But indices are bullish. All right. Indices are all bullish. This is just short term, right? This is the pullback. We're not even anywhere close to the higher time frame leg that's maintaining bullishness. All right. Can you show the 4-hour chart on NAS? Yeah, here it is, man. You got it. Here's the 4-hour chart on NAS. Is that what you're looking for? Yeah, for me, what's maintaining bullishness is way down here. All right. This is what's maintaining bullishness. All right. We had our expansionary leg, our pullback, and we made a new high. So yeah, this right here is what I'm looking at. Cool. All righty. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So that's NAS. Let's look at GA. So GA, I took some partials. Obviously I took partials when we made this new high. Yeah, off of these two orders, the beginning of March, once we took this new high right in here. So the way I'm looking at this right now is we're in a complex pullback, right? This is a distribution. Price is walking itself down. Yesterday, I was attempting to take a buy, but I needed the break of structure to happen. And you could see we never broke structure. So had we broken this structure here and taken out this leg, I would have been looking for a buy out of this accumulation. Never happened. So guess what? No trade, right? No trade. So what I was looking for was a reaction from right here. All right. I had these orders pending for a while. It was off the 30-minute, but it's in this accumulation right here. So I had an entry around 78,711. 78,711. You can see price this morning comes in and just misses my entry. It came into 78.73. So just missed it by like 2 pips. And then obviously took off. So unfortunately for me, no entry off of that. All right. How do you anticipate where price is most likely to retrace to and for an entry? So for me, I've always got 2 points of interest, right? I've got my slingshot area, the area that causes the break or the new high, new low, and I've got the extreme. Those are the 2 areas I'm looking for price to give me a reaction from. You were looking at 173,800 for 173,800 was where I was looking. You mean 78,300? You mean? You're talking down here. You were talking down here off of this. Down in here. Yeah, the only issue with that, it's pretty efficient price action. Like there's really not a lot to play off of, but I was looking at the same. So when will I start to look for sells on GA? Oh, well, so if we look at the 4-hour, right? What do we have? Well, we have a break of a high that took out this, right? So this is our leg. Made a new high. We just made a new high, right? So this is maintaining bullishness right now. So my anticipation is you could see this really nice complex pullback. I would like price to ultimately make a new leg. So I won't be looking for sells until this is violated, right? Until that's violated. All right. And just keep in mind what's going on the daily. I know I've talked about it before, but on the daily, we're in accumulation, right? We're in an accumulation. So I'm expecting 185. Any buys I get into right now, I'm holding to 185. All right. You could see that we did tap really nicely into this daily candle right here. And we did make a new high. Then we came right back into the daily here and made a new high. All right. So that's the anticipation. New high. There was a schematic. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it kind of just sucks that it didn't play out the way I wanted it to. Here's what I was looking this morning, right? A couple of us were actually looking at taking an entry. I had limit orders set right here. And, you can see we have an accumulation here. The only thing that sucked is it was only a type 2 for me, right? We only had 3 drives. Had there been a 4th drive, I would have taken this entry right here and I would have been looking pretty good on it. Price, just kind of took away from it. Unfortunately, it didn't meet my confirmation for an entry. Then we have a reaccumulation right here. The reaccumulation finally breaks structure. Comes into the slingshot on the seconds time frame. Really no entry for me though. What I was looking at, I wanted us to dip into this shakeout here. I wanted just a little deeper. Had we come a little deeper, I would have taken that entry. All right. And then obviously then we break and take out this high right here. That was the larger time frame reaccumulation. We do that right here. And I had a limit order off of this 1 minute right here. Price missed it by, I don't know, like 7 pips. Missed it by 7 pips. And from there just kind of took off. So I told myself I didn't want to miss out on GA this week. And I've already missed out like on 3 possible trades on it. So, what's next for GA for me? It's obviously I'm going to delete those pending orders. And I just want to see now. You can clearly see order flow is very bullish. We're looking really good on it. So what I want to see now is I want us to, if this was a low that came, made a new low, that came and then made a new low, you can see my alert sitting right up here. I want that high to get taken. We run that high and I'll be looking however we get up there, whether it's here, that gives us a reaccumulation to go higher. This will be my slingshot, and then I will have my extreme down in here. All right. All right, let's see. You can see example of taking a trade at the extreme. Can you see an example of taking a trade at the extreme? Yeah. I'll see if I find one real quick. GA buys. I see a schematic that is valid. What other reason did you have to look for buys from here? What, down in here? Like, why was I looking here for the buy? So I was looking for the buy because of this area right here. So what did price do? Price gave a really nice accumulation here, gave a reaccumulation on the 1 minute, gave a 15-minute reaccumulation. So this is the shakeout of the reaccumulation that I wanted to take a buy from. These are the 2 limit orders I had. So price came in right about there and then took off. So missed my limit order. Yeah. So what do we know about accumulations and reaccumulations? They are demand zones, right? Buyers, right? Buyers are present. Buyers are us there. All right. That's where institutional orders are being filled. Let's see. I was watching Extreme. Thanks for clearing it out. That price action. Yeah. Yep. Can you go over gold? Yeah, I mean, I've got it on my watch list. We'll go. I'll tell you right now, gold is ugly as crap right now. I would prefer silver. So I'm marking up the M and W when doing a top down. What do you mean by the M and W? Oh, the monthly and weekly. Okay. Yeah. No problem. I'll look at it. All right. We'll take a look at it. I like the 6-minute candle on GA. 6 minute. Talking about that one right there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's the only thing I'll say about it right now is order flow. Like, the whole premise of taking these entries that I was looking at was we were within order flow, right? We weren't going to violate order flow by doing that. Now, since we've made a new high here and potentially going to make a new high here, I don't want us to come down off an order flow. I want us to come down after confirmation of a new leg. So at this point, like, GA is just going to be a dead case until this alarm goes off up here. All right. I'm still holding those positions from over here. So, it is what it is. But if we do go higher, this is my extreme of the leg right here. All right. And then however we get there, if we do, again, a reaccumulation from here to go higher, then this would be my SC. However, like, once we get up there, then I'll figure out what the SC is. But that's kind of how I'm looking at GA. All right. Was I mad when the limit got missed? I'll tell you right now, I would have been mad, but I caught EG yesterday. So I wasn't too upset. And I'm in GA already, and GA's given me a lot of GA. If you have been following my Zooms since the beginning of the year, I've been buying GA since the early January. So, and I've caught a couple 1-to-100s on it. So I'm not too upset with GA. Can you see my, let's see. Now those 1 minute limits are, yep. Yeah, Andy, bro, I got you, man. Yeah, they're invalid. GA's invalid right now for me. My Fib settings, for which kind of Fib? I've got a bunch of Fibs. Yeah, I got a bunch of Fibs. I've got, you talking about my entry Fibs? It's just a 50 and an 80. That's all. It's a 50 and an 80. I've got, what other Fibs do I have? I have just a 50%. I have the retail one with all the extensions. That way, if I want to look to see what retail is going to be doing, I can go off of those. Here, I'll leave that one on there. What other ones have I got? I got the imbalance one. Got my light entry. So yeah, this is just the standard Fib. Just a standard Fib with the 71, 88, and the 78.6. What's the other one I got? Oh, and then I got my first schematic, so I can validate my PS and my PSY at 38.2. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here goes Sango. All right, I'll give Sango all this credit, man, because he is the one who found this extreme. Here you go. I'll give you the props for it, man. So here's an example of putting the limit order on the extreme. So this was, and you know what? He closed out early. So hold on. Yeah, he closed out early. And this was actually a pretty good play here. You know what? I think I still have it marked up. Hold on. Let me go to NJ. I think I still have it. Where is, it was down here. I know that. Hold on. It was right in here. Nope. There it is right there. That's it right there. So if we just go and recap, this was a limit order off the extreme, right? So what happened? We had, let's just go to the 5 minute. So what happened? We had price attempted distribution, give us 2 legs down, right? We have our creek. Price then jumps the creek, breaks structure. That's a reaccumulation, right? Those are the 2 things I need for a reaccumulation. So if this was this leg here that came down and we made this new high, you got to ask, well, what is maintaining bullishness? And it's this right here that is maintaining bullishness. So what we did was we came, and I want to say, Sango, I think you're the one, right? That we were doing a Zoom call that you were like, hey, take a look at NJ. We came in, we came in and we're like, all right, so what are we going to play off of? And when you get really down into the weeds on it, you'll see, I think it was a 1 and a 2 minute, right? Yeah. So what we did was this, we looked at it, you could see this 1 minute imbalance, right? This is the candle that we played off of right here. This is the candle we played off of. I'll show you the 2 minute. Now what happens? Price comes here, comes up, engulfs. This was a mitigation of that. Price then makes a new high. This mitigates into 50% of this last down candle. So the way we played it, or the way I played it, stop loss was right here. This black line is my stop loss. And if I go to the 2 minute, I think it was, yeah, there it is. That's my entry. My entry was this 2 minute candle right here. So that was my entry. You could see the position was, and this took a while. The trade doubled your account. Yeah, I know a couple people that got their FTMO verifications and everything out of it. This trade took forever. I almost forgot I even had this trade, limit still pending. Yeah, I almost forgot I still had this thing pending. Yeah, it was the only Asian session trade that actually worked out. Yeah, so right there, pop. Yeah, right there is where she comes in. So, and I know a couple of people were looking because I remember this accumulation in here. Oh, I remember this accumulation in here, and I had said I don't think that's going to hold. I wanted it to come lower, and sure enough, she comes right into there and actually gave a really nice accumulation in there. If you go down to the 1 minute, you'll see it is a really nice accumulation. So price does give an accumulation, and the spring is ultimately what got me into this trade, right? And then from there, I mean, it just skyrocketed. I know I caught a 1 to 100 and something on it. I don't remember. I know Sango, I know you closed out a little early on it, but you still caught some massive R to R on it. I wouldn't say we caught massive pips. It wasn't like, it wasn't like 4,000 pips like some of these guys are catching, but it was ultimately a pretty decent move. It was, so what did I catch? I caught it up to here. So I caught 380 pips on it. And I obviously partialed out, so it's not full volume. So this was a 1 to 255. Yeah, 1 to 255 off the extreme. And then of course, we were looking for some re-entries here. We just never got it. But yeah, it was a pretty good move. What part of NJ is your SC? The current price action? Well, I'll show you. 50% of the 2 minute or the open. I took it off the open because the open would have mitigated the 1 minute imbalance. So I took it off the open. Yeah. You close. Yeah. 1 to 91. Yeah. No worries, man. Yeah, no, Zach did hold it. I held it a little more, but Zach held more volume. So I partialed out more, just because I needed the margin. NJ on my broker, NJ is like 7% margin, which is ridiculous. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about, it is all about R to R. That is, yeah. If you know how I trade, that's all I care about. I don't care how many pips I catch. It's all about the R to R. So, all right. So currently, like what my SC is right now, I don't have an SC right now. And the reason I don't have an SC right now is because we don't have a new high. All right. What I was looking for when we made this high, I was looking for a schematic in here, and we got the schematic. So that's why I took this entry here. All right. I took that entry off the 10-minute extreme off of the schematic. So now for us to get a slingshot, I need a new high, and chances are that's going to be the slingshot area when we make this new high. Okay. All right. Yeah, Patrick, bro. I love it, man. All right. So yeah, we covered GA, I do want to see us at least break this high right here. All right. So GA, break that high. We got an extreme down here, and however we get up there is the slingshot. All right. It just sucks that this left without me, but it is what it is. No biggie. All right. EG. Let's talk about EG. So EG, there was a really nice schematic that I took yesterday. You can see it's a pretty clean schematic. We got a really nice, really clean entry point where I was looking. Price creates a spring. Unfortunately, after the spring, we don't break structure. So I wasn't able to take this test entry. But from the test entry, we did break structure. So what I looked at was the 6-minute candle, right? I looked at price. If you go to the 10, right? If you look at this 10-minute, really nothing on the 10-minute. If you go to the 9, like the 9-minute looks pretty decent. The 8, nothing really there. The 7, not so much. But when you get to that 6-minute for me is where I was looking. All right. This 6-minute candle right here is what I wanted. You see the fib. I threw the fib on from the open to the close. We traded into 50% of it. So the way I trade, if the open's been mitigated, all right, then the open's done. If the 50%'s been mitigated, then the 50%'s done. So that only leaves the 80%. All right. And if I come down to like the 1 minute, you'll see that that 80% lines up pretty close to that 50% of the 1 minute candle. All right. There is a little bit of imbalance just above it. And then you can see this 2 minute candle as well. Right. So I figured, well, I'll give it a shot. I set a pending order on it. Price does come in almost, it actually almost wicks me out, to be honest. What is going on? What is TradingView doing? All right, hold on. TradingView's got a mind of its own right now. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, bro. TradingView's got a mind of its own. Talk about some shenanigans, man. What the heck? I don't even know what's going on. Like it's like spazzing out. They just copied my trades. Probably, man. What the flipping A, man? All right, hold on. This is what I'm going to do. Let me just exit out of it and I'll come back to it. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Maybe too much RAM? No. I got plenty of RAM. I've got, what do I've got free? I've got 13, I've got almost 14 gigs of RAM free right now. So it ain't the RAM. It's something other shenanigans. That's TradingView, man. Look at this. It is TradingView. Let's see. That's what happens when I use Safari. Whatever, bud. Whatever. Yeah, I do. I have good night, man. What the flipping A? All right, hold on. Let me do this. Let me get out of night mode. Maybe it's night mode. Let's see. No, it's not night mode. It's TradingView. Look at this, bro. What the flipping A, man. All right, hold on. Let me just close out of this shenanigans and I'll restart it. Hold on. Let me close. Let me close this. Let me close TradingView. Give me a second, guys. I've never seen TradingView go on a fritz like that, man. All right, so. All right, let's open the sucker back up. All right, let's give this one more shot. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see. Buy Apple. They say it's gonna be. All right, there we go. I guess I just had to restart it. No biggie. All right, so we were talking about EG, right? Yeah, we're talking about EG. All right, so anywho, EG, I almost got stopped out on it, but that's why I have a tight stop loss. You know, I'm good with it. So I didn't get quite stopped out on it. Price did react pretty nicely. Where I took it, I took some partials here. I actually took partials right here at 86.30. So this was a 1 to like 59. Yeah, 1 to 53 is where I took partials. It did go up to a 1 to 60. So, and then my next area that I was looking for an entry was off this 15-minute open. And I had an order off the 15-minute open, and then I had an order off 50%. So I just split the order. I did get triggered. I did go to break even because we made two highs. So if I get stopped out, break even, I get stopped out, break even. You know, if London session comes down and triggers my 50% order, even better, I'll get a tighter entry. All right. So do I use a VPN? Yeah, I use a VPN. Yeah. Let's see. You were looking at EG, but it wasn't playing into any higher time frame point of interest. So the thought behind this is, if you look at the 4 hour, right? What do? We got our first change of character right here. So the way I'm seeing this is I'm looking to see if we can build a schematic here. So take this up here, maybe we get a spring, break a structure and go higher, right? And it's not, so I'll tell you right now, well, maybe it is counter trend yet. I didn't think it was counter trend, and this is why. So the question I'll ask is, are we bullish or are we bearish on the weekly? Yeah, I've already reduced my risk on EG. Yeah. When did I move my stop loss to break even? I went to break even when we made the second high on the 1 minute. Yeah, it's bullish, right? Everyone knows, or everyone could see, right? EG is bullish. So the play I'm taking, I am going in the directional bias of it. It's me, I'm bearish. Wick for me is no structure. So this isn't structure for you right here. Okay. All right. I mean, that's fine. So now what about the daily though, right? Is the daily bullish or is it bearish? Yep. If we get stopped out, we look for another entry, right? Do I use indicators? No, I don't. No, I mean, sometimes I'll throw an RSI on there, just to see if there's divergence. And I do like my little sessions tool. So I like that, but that's about it. So on the daily, are we bullish or are we bearish? Right? I mean, that's the question. So for me, we're still bullish on the daily. And I mean, if the weekly wick doesn't count for you, but this candle closes above here, so we should be bullish. For me, I'm bullish on both the weekly and the daily. So I am looking still to target off sells, just because on the lower time frame we are bearish. But I am looking to see if we do build a schematic in here, right? And I ideally want to do this. This would be if you were going to ask me my perfect setup was, if we do get a schematic in here, I want to take it to 50% of this weekly and then come down to target the lows and complete the schematic off the distribution. All right. So that would be my ideal target, right? My ideal setup would be drive it up to this 50%, come down, take this out all down here. This would complete the distribution, maybe something like that. And ultimately, heck, if from there, if we want to do a reaccumulation, great on the weekly, but that'll be like next year's kind of stuff. That's I've been following EG on the weekly since last August, right? Actually, August 2019 is when I've been following it. So it's been over almost 2 years. So why do I use a Wanda feed over FXCM? Because FXCM is garbage. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Bullish with bearish order flow. You're correct. Yep. What are my RSI settings? I have no idea. Whatever the standard is, like I don't mess around with it. All I care about is I just want to see how in relation, if there's divergence. So, and it's for me, it's not like a reason to do anything. So, bullish, but I'm a complex. Yeah, you're right. Yep, bullish, but you're a complex pullback on the daily. You're right. Yeah, pay for the new car as well. Yeah. Let's see. Usually split risk on 2 positions. Yeah, I do sometimes if it's worth it. Sometimes I even do 4. So, am I an IM? Yeah, I'm an IM. I am a student of the IM Mastery Academy. Absolutely. So that was EG. That was my setup for EG that I was playing off of this schematic here. If this does stop me out, And during London, if it does activate off the lower entry, great. Right now, this is what's maintaining bullishness, right? We are still bullish. We're just in the extreme of it. So I'm still targeting this high up here. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't think I'll be a go live educator though. I kind of like doing what I'm doing, no, I kind of like trading when I want to trade, doing Zooms when I want to do a Zoom. So, you took the trade off was kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not that it was in the middle of nowhere. So what we did was we came back into the extreme. We came back into the extreme of this wick, right? That's what we came back into. So we got our first change of character. And if you look at it from not the higher time frame, right? If you look at it from the intraday, what did we do? So we had multiple redistributions, right? You can see this one here in particular. I wanted to see if we were going to react off of this one, right? And we didn't. We violated it. So we've knocked out the sells. Supply has been knocked out of here. So this on the intraday is the new leg, and price came into the extreme of the wick. So it's not that this is in the middle of nowhere. It's just, it's not anywhere on a higher time frame. So we already got the first change of character that I was looking at. All right. Yeah. What's my RSI settings? Here. What is it? Let's see. It is 14 and close. 14 and close. All right. This is your new car, bro. What do you got? You don't even give me a decent link, bro, to open up. All right. Yeah, it's 2K. It's 2K a month. That is what it is. Yeah. No, I'm good. That's for people with 40-50 stop losses. Yeah. I do put limits on the extreme, but not on this one because this isn't a higher time frame extreme. But we did get a schematic, so I will take the schematic off of it. All right. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. So let's move over to pending. So let's go to UJ. UJ, we were looking at this morning. And I do like UJ. So let's start from a higher time frame bias, right? Obviously we're bullish, right? We are bullish on majority of the time frames, right? We are trading into the weekly candle, right? We are trading into the weekly candle. More importantly, we are at 50% of the daily candle. All right. So I want to see if this is going to hold. All right. If this holds, this is just going to be a short-term play. All right. Ideally, I would love to buy from either here or here. So this is the extreme and this is the slingshot. So I do want to take it down. All right. But we did trade into the daily. All right. And specifically 50% of it. All right. Awesome. Yeah. You can thank Patrick. Thank Patrick for that position size calculator because he's the one that found it. And there's all kinds of settings. Like I like doing the take partials on it. I like, all the cool stuff on it. So no, I don't use Steno. No. There's a position size calculator that you can put into MT4, MT5 that does all of that for you. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, there it goes. Patrick just threw it in there. So you can use it for Mac and Windows. But anyway, UJ, so we're in the 50% of the daily. And lo and behold, what I like to see was we actually have a really nice type 2. It's a type 2 schematic right now. We do have a type 2. We have our drives. We do have our break of structure. We do have our sign of weakness. Where I am actually looking is, so I'll take you kind of through my mindset. I was looking at this earlier. We have this 1 hour candle right here. All right. 50% of that 1 hour candle is sitting right here, right? It's 109,211. If I go down to the 10-minute, you'll see that this 10-minute, 50% of that 10-minute lines up perfectly, 109,211, 109,211 of the H1 50%. All right. If we go down to the 5-minute, you're going to see that what did price do? Well, price has an imbalance on the 5-minute here. Price has imbalance. Actually, I think it's like on the 8-minute. No, 7-minute. All right. So there's imbalance on the 7-minute there. There's imbalance on the 5-minute. There's imbalance on the 4-minute, imbalance on the 2-minute, imbalance on the 1-minute. And there you go. Yeah. So what I did was I wanted to see, okay, does price need to go any higher, right? Does price need to go any higher? So just looking at it from the 1-minute perspective, you can see this last up 1-minute candle, we do trade into it, right? But more importantly, off the 5-minute, hold on, was it the 10-minute? Give me a sec. What do I have marked up here? Okay, yeah. So we actually trade into 80%. This goes into 80% of that 15-minute candle in here. And then, where did I have it marked? Yeah, even off these 5 and 6 minutes, I'm personally going to be putting my stop loss right here. All right. For me, this was the mitigation of this in here. This was the mitigation of here because we just made a bunch of lows. So I'm going to be setting my limit off 50%. All right, of the 10-minute stop loss just above it. I think it's like a 4 pip stop. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it's a 3 pip stop. So a 3 pip stop, and I'll be targeting my first targets that I'll be targeting is this area of demand right here. So that's where I'll be going with it. That'd be a 1 to 28 for my first take partials. And then just keep in mind, if this is the pullback that I'm expecting, I'll be looking to take it down. I'll be looking to take it down into here. All right. So we're talking 105.30. We're talking 400 pips, give or take, right? Like 370 pips to get down here. So that's how I'll be looking at UJ. All right. Don't think it's going to go a bit higher to hit 109.250 on the 9-minute. So let's see. I mean, it could. I personally don't think it's going to go up there. Yeah, I personally don't think it's going to go up there. Just because if you're walking it down, yeah, if you're walking it down, what did price do? Price came, and here let's just look at it this way. So this 5-minute candle right here. Come on. Why is my template not working? Because I'm doing the wrong one. All right, give me a sec. There we go. All right, so let me do this one. All right, so off of the 5-minute, we do trade into 50% of this 5-minute candle. All right, this is the candle that I really like. If we find another, let's just work it down. Hold on, let's go to the 25. So see this 25-minute right here? We trade 50% into it. All right, let's go to the 30-minute. So 30-minute, not much. Let's go to the 20-minute. So 20-minute, same thing, right? We trade into the body of the candle. This for me was the mitigation of this candle. All right, because when I'm looking at it from like the 1-minute, from the 1-minute, what did any of this do in here? Nothing. The push is from here, right? So this is where that buy to sell happens. So, I mean, you listen, you don't have to take my, my word for it. If you're more comfortable taking the entry from here, take it. I can just tell you, I'm going to be taking an entry from here because this is where my confluence is. This is that H1 50%. that lines up with the 10-minute, that lines up with like 4 or 5 other time frames with imbalance. That's where I'm going to be playing off of, right in here. All right. If you look at the UJ, the buy to sell on the 3-minute, buy to sell from where? The buy to sell. Oh, you're talking about way up here? This one up here? That's the one you're talking about? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to be putting a limit there. I'm going to be coming off of this. No, within my POI, the 3-minute this up here. Is that what you're talking about? I was going to ask a question about mitigation. Okay, tell me, what about mitigation? Yeah, I'll answer it. How do I validate my preliminary support or preliminary supply? You just have to, it has to be, the first thing, it has to be a 38.2 pullback. So from the previous high or low to where price creates that supposed PS or PSY, it must be a minimum of 38.2 retracement. Okay, all right, yeah, that's fine. Am I putting a limit order on UJ right now? No, I will before I go to bed. Yeah, before I go to bed, I will. Yeah, so I don't want this to come in right now. I want it to wait at least 3-4 more hours before it comes up here. All right. All right, cool. So that's UJ. Let's go down my primary list. I'm not waiting for a schematic because yeah, I'm not waiting for a schematic on that. No. Just because we are within the leg, right? So this is the LPSY. This would be the next LPSY. So it'd be another thing if like this just came all the way down and took off, but we're still within the schematic. So, you know, we broke structure, we created that MSAL. Now I want to see us come up here and go lower. And I mean, just have this in the back of your head, right? It definitely could. Well, we really don't have a creek yet. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it could maybe come down, make another thing like this, have a creek and do a reaccumulation. But, you know, I'm looking for the sell on it. All right. Yeah, I'm not waiting for it. Where can I buy my merch? Yeah. I have my own coffee mug though. My wife got it for me for something. I don't remember, Christmas or something. My little logo on it. All right. So let's talk about AU. I know we were looking at AU this morning as well. So let's look at AU, right? So if we jump up, let's just go to the daily, right? Let's just start from the daily. The weekly, we're bullish, right? I'm not even gonna waste my time with that. We are in a potential distribution, right? But right now, this is what's maintaining bullish structure. All right, this is that leg right here. So until we violate that leg and confirm this type 2 schematic, then we have nothing yet, right? Everything is still in play. So I have that in the back of my head. All right. And any buys I will be looking for, because we haven't taken out this low, I will be looking to take out this high. All right. So from a 1 hour perspective, what do we have, right? Well, we have price gave a really ugly accumulation in here. And then from there, responded from this redistribution and is now in a complex pullback with a potential that should be a not accumulation, but a potential reaccumulation, right? So what I was looking at was I wanted to validate the reaccumulation. How can we validate this reaccumulation? Well, let's just look what happened. All right. So price is walking itself down, right? And right here breaks above this high. So when it breaks above that high, it actually, and I kick myself for not taking this trade, comes in and does an accumulation, right? And where it does an accumulation, I'm going to show you what I was looking at. So I personally was looking at an entry, and just because this was just kind of like early in the week, and I was just kind of not trying to get into a lot of trades. But if we look at the 10-minute candle, not much, right? Look at the 9-minute. All right. Look at that 9-minute candle, right? That 9-minute candle is a really decent candle. That's what I would be marking up. That's what I would be marking up. Now, I'll just mark that up like that. All right. Let's go to the 8-minute. All right. 8-minute, not much. 7-minute, not much. But look at this 6-minute, right? Look at that 6-minute candle. So this 6-minute candle and the 9-minute candle are pretty significant. All right. And lo and behold, what does price do? How much you want to bet price comes into that 80% of that candle? So price breaks this high ever so slightly by like half a pip, enough that I should have put this limit order on. And then price comes down and pops the 80% of my 6-minute candle. All right. So that's what I was looking at right there. That would have been, I don't even know what that would have been. That would have been a 6-pip stop. So, I mean, we'd be looking at a 7-to-1 right now, which, it's not the greatest, but it is what it is. All right. So this is what I was looking at. So now, like we were looking at this morning on Zoom, what do I need price to do? Well, pretty simple. I need price to make this new high. Make this new high, and this is where I'm going to be playing off of right here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, we got news on AU. Yeah. This may be just going sideways until tomorrow. Let's see. Would you say near the reaccumulation, we also had an accumulation at the bottom? You talking about right here, bro? Is that what you're talking about? Yep. Yeah. You got it, bro. Yeah. That's an accumulation. In that AU off the breaker structure at a demand zone with other time frame that's confluence risk free though. Yeah, I mean, where did you get in? Hold on. Where'd you get in on AU? Let's see, 1 pipette is a break. Yeah, I mean, it broke above, right? So you got to ask yourself, right? Is 1 pipette a break above? Well, if this is where sells got in and they moved into profit, if price trades above it, does it take them out? I mean, that's the question. Does it take it out? So for me, it does. For me, it's enough. This is why you wake up for London Open. I saw this after. Let me see. Yeah. I mean, I'm there. I've got the reaccumulation on it. So for me, this wasn't enough. Oh, this wasn't enough for me to get into an entry, because on a type 2 schematic, I require a exit of the trading range. So yeah, like the break of structure wasn't enough. I need the exit of the trading range. So in the trading range would be up here. So I would have needed that for me to get into this entry. But I would have taken it simply off the leg, because this was the extreme of the leg where I took it off that 6-minute. So, but yeah, same thing. I got the same thing. I just need a new high now. Wait for the new high. We're golden, man. We're golden. Yeah. 8 a.m. in the UK. Here's the AU. Let me see, bro. What you got? Let me see. What you got? All right. So you got in off the 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You were looking at the same thing. It's just for me off the reaccumulation. I should have taken it off the 6-minute, bro. That's what I should have done. I was being selective. I was being selective, but it's all good. Now we just wait, right? You can see I got the alert up here. Just wait, let it break. And then where I'm going to be playing, what did I say? Like the 5-minute? What is that? Nope. What is it? 15? Okay, that's what it is. So it's the 4 minute, if I remember correctly. But you could see the imbalance on the 8. You could see it on the 7, right? You could see it on the 6. Plenty of imbalance. And then when you go to that 4 minute candle. So that's what I'm going to play it off of. I'm going to play it off that 4 minute. You know, that's where I'm looking. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a valid type 2. It's a valid type 2. So that's why I'm looking for price to come back into demand here. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me catch up here. Sorry, man. Can you go over one more time your entry, please? Is this, all right, my bad. Is this off of AU, the entry? Yeah. The entry's off this 4 minute right here. Entry's off the 4 minute. Can you explain the 80% of the institutional candle? Can I explain it? I take 80% of the candle body. That's the best explanation I'm going to give you. You can back test it. Definitely look at all of these candles and maybe put an 80 and 50% on it. How long does it take with full dedication for one to learn and trade using the Wyckoff method? I mean, that's dude, I can't tell you. I don't know. I can tell you that I started learning Wyckoff in February of 2020. So February of 2020 is when I started learning Wyckoff. So we're 13 months. So and I think I have a pretty good handle on it. Yeah. Is it only a reaccumulation when it jumps the creek or breaks the ice on a redistribution? Is it only a reaccumulation? So for me, for a reaccumulation, I need two things. I need a break of structure and I need a jump across the creek. Redistribution, just a break of structure and a break through the ice. So yeah. You're really scared of 5 minute sub time frames. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you right now, you know what doesn't allow me to get emotional in lower time frames is that the bias, right? The markup is done on a higher time frame. All I'm doing is going down into a lower time frame to find the entry. And you know, if you can trade a 1 hour chart, you could trade a 1 minute chart, you know. I mean, there's been some entries where I get down on a 1 minute, and I know there's some people on here that can attest to it. There would be a 1 minute chart, and inside of that 1 minute chart, I will see small little accumulation on a second's time frame that I will take, right? And I'll just throw $50 at it, $50 on it. What was that one trade that we took? I can't even remember what it was, but it was something ridiculous. Like I threw $100 on it, and I made 5 figures off of it. It was AU. That's what it was. AU. Okay. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Golem took it. Yeah. A bunch of us took it. AU. That's right. You know, it was like a second's time frame accumulation that we snagged, and seriously, we threw $100 at it, and that $100 was 5 figures. So, yeah, it's worth it sometimes. You know, I didn't. Yeah. Do I scale through each minute of time looking for a nice down candle that engulfs? So I'm looking for a candle that I can say that is where institutions either bought to, did the buy to sell or the sell to buy. That's what I was trying to ask. All right, hold on. Let's see, bro. All right. So obviously you got these imbalance in here and more imbalance on multiple time terms. But all right, wait a minute. What time? This is a 3 minute. Okay. So, but let's say hypothetically there's no imbalance at all on any time frame. Correct. There has to be imbalance for me to take the entry. There has to be imbalance. Now, if there, let's just say I'm going to play, hold on. Let's just say that this is a 1 minute candle, right? That is full body. Okay. And let's say, all right, that's not even a good example because I wouldn't take anything that was up here because that didn't do the move. But let's just say there's a 1 minute candle that clearly is an institutional candle, right? 1 minute candle. And then we have the sell down candle, right? Obviously there's no imbalance in here. All right. So if this was, let's just say we have a 1 minute schematic and this was that push up. Yeah. What I would be doing is I'd be taking it off the open of the 1 minute candle. But yeah, there has to be imbalance. There has to be a reason. So there has to be, if I'm taking it off this 1 minute candle, there has to be at least imbalance in here. There has to be a reason for price other than this candle for price to come back up. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that answers it. All right, cool. Yeah, bro, Albert. You need to turn into a vampire and backtest when all others sleep. Then you'll be profitable. Yeah. Exactly. Listen, there's people on this call that can attest. When I say all you got to do is just backtest and journal, and you'll become a profitable trader, I'm not lying. Backtest and journal. That is the secret to being profitable. Okay. Yeah, listen, reduce the risk. If you start to see that you can't handle the lower time frame, dude, just reduce your risk. If you normally risk $100 on a trade, risk 25. Okay, risk 25. I mean, you can't go wrong. All right. Even risking, like if you're normally risking $100 and you risk $5 on the trade, if it goes a 1 to 100, that $500 or that $5 is $500. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. Yeah. The open of the UTED spring on the lowest possible time for ideally full body. Yes and no. Like it's the UTAD or the spring. It's the most voluminous candle is what I'm going to take. So I can tell you this, that if we are correct in identifying the proper candle, that 100% of the time it would mitigate the open of the candle. I can't tell you how often it would come to the 50 or the 80, but I can tell you that if there's a reason for me to take the 50 or the 80, I'll take the 50 or 80. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would consider the candle. Yes. Mitigated. Can you show an example of an extreme? I thought we just did. Yeah, we did NJ. We looked at NJ. My upline never mentioned to journal my trades. He never mentioned to journal your trades. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Journal your trades, man. Journal every one of your trades and review your journal. Show me. Yeah. Because most people out there want to see you doing good. Yeah. All right. I used to lose $100 on trades all the time, and then with the following the rules, same 100. There you go, bro. Yeah, Gollum. Tell him, Gollum. I mean, Gollum's got it, man. He's seeing a lot of success. All right, and it's all because of that. All right. Not sure journaling is part of most IM educators' teachings. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Listen, I said that I was going to be doing a video. I just was swamped this week, so I will do a video breaking down how I journal, how I review my journals, why I journal. I'll tell you right now, the whole 50 and 80% on candles came from my journal. Right, that was a year's worth of journaling that I kind of like did some data collecting. All right. The whole put limit orders off the extreme came from my journal. All right. Like you start to develop these things, and that's the key. That's why you review your journals, right? You want to make, you don't want to make the same mistake twice. And I'll tell you right now, I know a lot of you guys have heard this story, but I got tired of I use Microsoft Excel as my journal. I got tired of Excel auto-populating my notes in my journal saying, I forgot to put a limit order on the extreme. So you start seeing that Excel is auto-populating that, you start to change your habits, right? And, for those of you that have caught the extreme entries, now you know why, right? Now you know why. So NAS came into the POI and looks like it's reacting off the 5 minute. Yeah. I just don't like Asian session, man. I don't like Asian session. Most just want to build your list. Yeah, these as a journal of practice risk. Good. Yeah. Listen, I mean, if you're going to be profitable, you need a journal. So I think percent, not in dollars, everything changed. No matter I trade 100K a while later, it's negative. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I even on my MT5, I don't even do the dollar anymore. I do profits and pips, and it's all about percentages. I don't care what I make. I care about the percentage. What is top right of your accumulation? Also an accumulation, top right. Well, you're talking about on AU here? This up here? No, it's not an accumulation, right? Because if we had an accumulation here, we would have a reaccumulation here, but it's kind of just falling apart. So let's see. There you go, bro. When in doubt, ask your journal. The journal is the answer to all your problems. If you have a question about trading, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Ask your journal, because your journal would be, obviously if you've been trading for a while, your journal is going to give you that answer, right? It's going to tell you. Do you mind showing what you look for in a monthly and weekly if you have a minute? What do I look for? I just look for the, all it is just your legs. Just identify your legs. So I'll tell you right now, I really, other than finding a monthly candle, I don't do really much with the monthly, but here, so you can see on a weekly, from a weekly perspective, what is this? Can anyone tell me what that is? Let's see, bro, what you got? Hold on. Redistro. Yes. Failed accumulation, which is a redistro. You got it, bro. Yeah. It's a redistro. Absolutely. So hold on. Hold the phone. All right. So why would this weekly candle be important if this is a redistro? Let's see. What few pairs did you backtest in the beginning? I'll tell you what, stick to the majors. They have the cleanest schematics. So your US dollar pairs, and I would even do some yen crosses. US dollar pairs and yen crosses give the cleanest schematics. Let's see. Yes. Hold on. Determine long-term bias. Yes. Sellers in the market, right? So we know that if this is distribution, this is where sellers, right, are resting right in here, right? Because this is where that push happened to go lower. So if we want to maintain bullishness, right, we need to ultimately take out the sellers. So if we are going to get a reaction, we will always, and this is just something I've backtested, we will always get some reaction from a weekly and a daily and a monthly candle, right? Sure enough, what happens? We tap into that weekly candle and look what happens. Price sells off, right? So what I would be looking for if we are going to maintain some bullishness, right? I'd be looking at taking this above that weekly high, and that's why I got that box there. All right. If we are going to distribute, right? If we are going to distribute, and we do make that UTAD, right? Where would I potentially be looking for that UTAD to be formed? Well, I'll tell you, it's probably, I'm just going to spitball here. It's probably going to be in that blue or that red dot. That's where I'd be looking, right? So I'd be looking for price off of the daily, off this daily distro, a UTAD to plug into this 50 or the 80%. So that's where I'd be looking to take price up to. And, like I said, from where price is currently, I mean, that's 300 pips, 300 to 350 pips. All right. Wait, so for a new guy, it would be better to just trade USD and JPY pairs? No, I mean, listen, I'll tell you this, I'm not, and there's nothing against traders that only like to trade certain pairs, right? My trading partner only trades a certain amount of pairs. There's other people that I know that only trade 4 or 5 pairs. There's nothing wrong with that. I can tell you, I trade everything because I am waiting for the most highly probable setup. And if that means I got to wait 3 weeks for a pair, I wait 3 weeks for a pair, right? I'm still waiting on EJ. EJ, I've been waiting for a buy on EJ going on like 3.5 weeks, and I'll continue to wait another 3.5 weeks so I can get the buy. All right. I'll tell you, because the majors, because US dollar pairs have the most volume, the most orders, for schematics, they are the cleanest, right? You're typically going to find a lot of type 1 schematics in the US dollar crosses. All right. Yes, redistro. Yep. What was the candle that created the break of structure to the downside? The candle that created the break of structure to the downside off the weekly is, yes, this is the extreme of that leg, right? This is the extreme of that leg that broke down here. Okay. And ultimately, this on the weekly, right? This is your leg on the weekly. All right. So when this happened, this is your extreme, and this is your slingshot, right? This is the cause of the break, and this is the extreme of that leg. All right. Please talk about this, GJ. All right. I'll give it a shot. I honestly. All right, it's the same chart. Gotcha, bro. Yeah, I'll be honest though. I'll look at GJ. All right, I'll look at GJ, but I'll tell you right now, nothing about this right here is telling me to buy anything yet. So we'll take a look at it though. I feel like I have more focus if I trade less pairs though, because it's a lot more time consuming to look through a lot more. Yeah, I mean, you have a valid point. Yes, I mean, if I only looked at 4 pairs, I would probably be done with my top down and all my markings in 5-6 minutes, right? I mean, I can tell you, so the guys that I trade with, I mean, I marked up, like this morning was the first time I looked at some charts in a week. We were on a Zoom call for 2 hours and I went through my entire watch list. So it took me 2 hours to do all my markings and then just set my alerts. So, I mean, the more you do it, the more practice you do. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I tell people just don't limit yourself, because the more charts you see, the more charts you mark up, the easier it is to see things, right? So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It is more time consuming. Some people, you just don't have the time because you don't, I'm a full-time trader, right? I don't work anymore. I sit at home. I go to the gym. I go to my doctor's appointment. I take my kids to volleyball, and, that's it, so, is EU on your watch list? It's not. It is not. It's on my secondary watch list, but right now, I prefer GU to EU. One thing I do a lot is actually watch and how they move when they fake out rather than back test, because it's like I'm back testing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can do that, right? If you can sit there and watch the charts, I personally, I don't do that anymore, right? I set my limits, I set my alerts, and I just walk away. Like I don't want to be tied to my computer. But you can see what it's doing, can you be profitable only trading type 1 and type 2 schematics? Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, I would probably tell you that easily 75% of all my trades are type 1 schematics. So yeah. Yeah. So EG building a schematic right now. Good. I hope so, bro. I hope so. All right. So, all right. That's AU. Let's talk about Chef JPY, right? So Chef JPY, I'm looking at this sucker right here. So where I'm specifically looking is the 3-day candle, right? This is our institutional candle, 50 and 80%. So inside of those 2 price points is where I want to see a lower time frame distro. So if we could get a distro, game on for a sell for me. Order flow, right? Look at this. This is massively bullish. I'm a little upset because I think last week I don't know if it was on the Zoom call in the morning that I do, or it was on Tuesday night session. I was looking at a buy from here, and it just we were in it, and then changeover happened and hit our break even. But this, I mean, it sucks. Like my bias was right. I knew we were going to come up higher. It just sucks the timing, and this is the stuff that pisses me off. Like when they do this changeover crap, changeover happens, the markets go crazy, and your broker starts to manipulate you out. So, but yeah, I would be looking at in either this blue or the red line, right? I want to see a distro. Come in here, give me a really nice distro, right? Something like that. Give our UT a UTAD, we break structure, take the entry off the test, and down we go, right? That's what I'd be looking at. All right. And then of course, targets. My first targets for this are, well, if we're looking at the first thing what we would be looking at is what? We'd be looking at a new low. So we'd be looking at something like that, right? That's 200 pips, right? That's 200 pips. And I'll tell you right now, I have a warm place in my heart for Chef JPY. It is, to date, it is still the best trade I've ever taken. And it was a 1 to 287. I got it on a 1.1 pip stop, and the second entry I took on a 1.6. So target number one is going to be this. Well, what's maintaining bullishness? Well, this is maintaining bullishness. So I would be looking for price to come in here. And then just keep in mind that we do have the old trend line, right? We have the old trend line here as well that price could probably come down into. All right. So you were looking at the 1 minute. Yeah. Yep. No, we got it. We're looking good. Just so take that off. That's not a secondary test. All right. And then this move up to here. And then right now, this is just a secondary test, potentially in phase B, right? Potentially. So we have a type 2 schematic. All right. But yeah. Yep. I'll take a look at it. The timing for me is it's in the yellow, so I don't really care much for it. So it's an Asian session. But yeah. Let it do its thing. What did I look for when choosing a trading partner? One, somebody who was as organized as me and who trades the same way I do. All right. You don't want to have a trading partner that trades like EMAs and you trade Wyckoff theory, and you guys can't bounce ideas off each other, right? You want to find someone that's, one, as dedicated as you are, two, as organized, or maybe that is more organized than you, that it gets you to step your game up. And that's the key, right? That's what you want. So I've been missing my entries by pipettes. The only one I got in wicked me out and flew. Yeah, man. Yeah. It is what it is. Do I miss a lot of trades because I wait for a schematic? I wouldn't say I miss a lot of trades because I wait for the schematic. Sometimes I require a schematic and a schematic just doesn't print. So, and I'm okay with that, right? Because there's some times where if I don't wait for the schematic, I would need to take a 15 pip stop. So a 15 pip stop on 150 pips is a 1 to 10, right? But if I wait for the schematic and I catch a 2 pip stop, right? A 2 pips, I will just say, we'll make it easy. A 3 pip stop, right? Well, that is a 1 to 50, right? So I would rather take the 1 to 50 than the 1 to 10. All right. So that's how I look at it. And I'm okay with waiting for the schematic because when I look back at my journal for the past 12 months, there hasn't been 1 week that I have traded, right? Not 1 week that I've traded that the market didn't give me at least a minimum of 2 trades that were a 1 to 50. So, I'll just wait for the 1 to 50s, 2 trades. If I can catch 2 trades to get me a 2 to 100, that's really all I need. All right. Yeah, EMAs. Let's see. Just curious. What is the max spread you will trade on a pair? The max spread? That's a tough one. I'll tell you this, like I don't trade EN on my broker is like 4 pips. So if you trade like a FTMO account, the biggest spread is like 1.4 pips, which is okay. But like anything over 3 pips for me is a no deal. Even like 2.5, like sometimes some of these pairs that are 2.5 pips, no deal. I just would rather wait for something that I can get a tighter entry with. Because it's stupid for me to get, say I have a 2 pip spread or a 2 pip stop loss, but my spread's 3 pips. Well, darn, I just cut my R to R in half. So where I was going to be a 1 to 40, I'm now a 1 to 20. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the, that's one of the things, so Fibs, can you go through like a full markup and breakdown of a pair? You like to see how you do it, or yeah, I mean, just if you get on if I get on any of the videos on YouTube, I mean, I break them down. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing here tonight. We look at a quick little higher time frame, we look at point of interest, and then we go from there. Those people exist. Join the boot camp this weekend. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. If I know Yuri and me are doing a boot camp, I know a lot of people have signed up for it already. If you go on my YouTube page, the link for the to get access to the boot camp is in the link section of my YouTube channel. So, and I know Yuri's going to be covering. So Yuri's going to be covering mindset and psychology. He's also going to be covering how to incorporate divergence, both like relative strength and comparative strength divergence into trading. I'm going to be covering market structure and obviously schematics. So the schematics one is going to be the longest part. I'll tell you right now, like whoever's doing it, who's ever going to be part of the bootcamp, I can guarantee you that my schematics is going to be at least 3 hours long. So just to prepare everybody, we'll probably take a quick little break, get some water, and then dive right back into it. But yeah, it's going to be 3 hours. And I know at the end, we're going to reserve, I think we're going to reserve either 60 minutes or 90 minutes for questions. All right. So yeah. All right. How do I measure the PS? Yeah. So here, like, hold on. What was the last schematic? EG, right? EG gave a schematic. Okay. So what validates this as a preliminary support, right? So if you come up and you measure from, this way, there we go. So if you measure from the expansionary move down, what you're measuring is the pullback, right? You're measuring the pullback, and actually I had it the right way the first time. So what we're measuring is this move, right? We're measuring this and then the pullback. So it needs to be a 38.2. So you can see this was at least 50% of this. All right. Same thing if you want to measure, like technically we can even call this a preliminary support here, right? Because from this move down, does this pull back to 38.2? And yes, it does. All right. There's your 38.2. So, like if I wanted to, I can even call this a preliminary support. So that's how you validate the preliminary support. It needs to be a 38.2 pullback from the previous. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah. If you guys want questions on the bootcamp, just message me on IG. I'll respond to it. I know I dropped a link on my YouTube channel as well on it. So can you explain how to distinguish between an STB and a spring on EG 1 minute schematic, for example? Okay. So what is this? Okay. Yeah. So let's look. So in here. right? If we're looking at this schematic here, the market needs a minimum of 3 drives, right? Doesn't matter which way it goes, up, down, doesn't matter. We need 3 drives. So our first drive is always indicated by our change of character, right? This is our change of character right here. So what we need is we have a selling climax, right? Our first thing is a selling climax. After the selling climax, what gives us our trading range is our automatic reaction or automatic rally, depending if you're in a distro or an accumulation. All right. After that, the market needs to come back and retest demand. This is what your secondary test is for. After that, we need a secondary test again, but we need it to be in phase B. So right now, this is just a secondary test until one of 2 things happens, right? Until we exit the trading range and confirm a type 2, then we would label this a secondary test in B. Or if we create a spring, and if we create a spring, that makes this the secondary test in phase B. All right. In actuality, right now, it's just a secondary test. All it did was just test demand, right? Right now, we can label this as another secondary test, because if this is the one that goes ahead and exits the trading range, it creates that sign of strength, then this becomes our secondary test in phase B. When price returns, would be our last point of support to go higher. All right. If price decides it wants to not do this and create the spring, right, then this becomes our spring. All right. That's ultimately what has to happen, right? You need a minimum of 3 drives, right? So right now we have 3 here. We actually have a 4th, but no spring yet. All right. Do I take 70 trades a day? I don't think I've taken 70 trades in 6 months. I could tell you I probably take 3 trades a month. Yeah, there you go. Yuri's got it on his profile as well on Instagram. He's got the link. So yeah. But just message me. I'll drop the info for you. All right. Yeah, I could tell you I probably take three trades, 3 trades a week. All right. But I'm holding most of these trades. I'm not catching 1 to 5s, 1 to 10s, 1 to 15s. I'm holding them. So let's see. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So if you are on my YouTube right now, right? If you guys are messaging me on YouTube there, just go to the links page on my YouTube and you'll see it. I have the link directly there for you. Cool. Very good. Very good. Alrighty. So, all right, where was I at? I was Chef JPY. All right, let's finish this up, man. Jeez. All right, EJ, right? Let's talk about EJ. So EJ is in my weekly imbalance, right? We are in the weekly imbalance. All right. I do think, actually, I really do want us to ultimately get a little tighter up into this, right? This was the redistribution. So I want us to get a little higher until we really see signs of distribution. All right. From a 4-hour, I know this is messy. Bear with me. All right. I've put a lot of work on EJ lately. A lot of these trades, this was a lot of work to get this in here, right? But if we look at the legs, right, what is maintaining bullishness right now, right? So from a leg perspective, from the higher time frame, this area right here is what's maintaining bullishness, right? That's what's maintaining bullishness. From the intraday or the lower time frame, what we're seeing is this. What is maintaining bullishness? Well, we have price that has walked itself up, has made a high. We just made a new high, which makes this what's maintaining bullishness. Well, what happened here and what happened here, right? So what happened in those areas, if we jump down to like the 1 hour, what happened was we had, maybe I have it on the 30-minute. There we go. So what do we have? We have an accumulation. Then we have a reaccumulation. So we know demand is sitting here, demand is sitting here. So I'll be waiting. This is the extreme of the leg, right? That's the extreme of the leg. I do have a pending order sitting off of that 50% of the 10-minute, which is also the 5 and 3-minute open. I have a limit order way down there. We're a long way from that. We're like 190 pips. And then obviously if price comes into this area here, which is what I was ideally looking to see if we can get something here. We didn't get it. So now if price comes up and then makes one more leg down, right, I'll be okay with that. Because what do we have going on here? Well, we have a potential distribution, right? We have a potential distribution with another potential redistribution, all right? So this is our redistribution. If price comes into there, maybe gets one more leg down, all right, to get us into here where I can catch an accumulation. That accumulation is ultimately going to what? Reaffirm our reaccumulation. So I'll be able to position here on the break of this structure, let price come back into something down here where I can stack my position, right? Yeah, until we violate some sort of structure that is telling me not to see EJ bullish, I'm just going to continue to see it bullish. But there is a pretty good opportunity in here off of this redistribution that mitigated out of this distribution to take EJ down. All right. Can I elaborate the redistro? This one right here. Yeah. So what do we have? We had a distribution, right, into an accumulation, right? What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 drives, right? So this is an accumulation that creates ice, right? This was a mitigation of that. Here, actually, let's just see. How much you want to bet? This was 50%. Oof, 50% of the 30. So yeah. So here's your accumulation, 3 drives, right? This is your ice. What did price do? It broke through the ice, broke structure, right? So this is a redistro. This is your distribution. So we know supply is sitting here, supply is sitting here. So the anticipation is price coming back up. So I would be looking for price that created that price action. So not the 30-minute, maybe a 2-hour. Yeah. So like this 2-hour, what's the 3-hour look like? No, what's the 4-hour? Nope. 8. There you go. Into this 8-hour candle is where I'd be looking. Hold on, let's just see. That 2-hour, even that 1-hour, even this 1-hour is decent. There, that 45-minute, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So I'd be looking into there, into something in here for that sell off of this redistribution. I'm actually, you know what? I may give it a gander if I get up early. I may give it a gander. All right. Yeah. I would take a look at it. I want to say whoever was on Zach's session, I think he was looking at this too, right? I was kind of cooking dinner, so I wasn't paying too much attention. But I'm pretty sure he was looking at the same area, right? Yeah, he was. Okay. Yeah, it's a good redistro. And there's plenty of room. I mean, there's like 200 pips to go down, so it does have a decent risk to reward on it. Just know that this is super counter trend, right? Super counter trend, and this is your ice. All right. Any questions with EJ? Everyone understand kind of like what I'm looking at? And the fact that we violated this reaccumulation, this is, if we look at it this way, right? So this is the high. This is the slingshot that created the high. So the slingshot's been violated. So we would anticipate now price to go down into the extreme way down here. All right. So it does have a decent risk to reward. I wonder what the heck give me a sec here. What would, look how it auto-populates 60 pips. Like I've ever taken a 60 pip. So off the 50%, off the 80 would be 6 pips. Let's just say if I took it off that, I would dangerously that way. If it goes all the way down to here, I mean, that's still a 1 to 20. Yeah. It is a 30-minute open. Okay. Yeah. I like that 45-minute candle. So I definitely would be looking at that area right there. Yeah. Zach was looking at the 30-minute. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It is. Imagine that. Did he look at the 45-minute too? I wonder if he looked at the 45-minute. Schematics really stack on top of each other. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So just remember, why is a schematic being printed, right? Schematics are being printed because the institutions are filling their orders. So if you have an accumulation, right, and you come here and you see a distribution, that distribution is just them filling more orders for a reaccumulation, right? So they can work their way up, and then you would get another reaccumulation, right? That's all it is. Okay. That's all it is. So, all right. When you look through the time frames, like for a candle, are you just looking for a nice thick candle? I'm looking for the volume of the candle. I want a candle that shows me, based on the volume that's inside, that is where the majority of institution orders are sitting. All right. When backtesting, do you start where the market's at and go backwards since the small time frames are limited? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that sucks about backtesting, is you got to do it relatively soon. What I will tell you is this, like one of the things I used to do is, if somebody I knew posted a chart of an entry, I would go and back test that entry. So, a good example, like I went over EG tonight. So later tonight, if you want to review, go back and look at this video again, go look at EG and do it on your own. If you're having trouble with it, go back to the video where I broke it down. Go to last week's video. I think, yeah, last week I did a video. Go to last week's video. Look at what, look at the charts that we went through last week and go back and back test them. That's honestly one of the best things that you can do. I tell everybody that I work with that, if you miss a trade, just make sure that you've journaled it. Make sure that you've gone through and put, the work in. Even though you're not part of it, at least you can at least be part of the learning process in it. You can pretend that you're still in the trade and how you would manage the trade. It's honestly less stressful because you're not actually working a position there. But it still gives you a little bit of confidence, knowing that you had the right bias when something goes right with it. Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. 90-minute. It's also the 90-minute. Oh, 90-minute, bro. Now we're throwing some crazy stuff in here, bro. 90-minute, huh? All right, hold on. Let's see, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think I like the 45 better. Yeah, see the 45 for me, and it is the same candle, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. You'd be like Sango. What was that on GU? The 42-minute. We'll talk about that one in a second. We'll get to GU. How do you identify volume in a candle? So do you see how this 45-minute is a solid candle? Not a lot of wicks. So we know that is where the bulk of the orders were filled, right? If we go to, like, say, let's just say a 15-minute. No, let's go to all right, so like let's look at this 25-minute, right? So like you see these candles in here with the wicks, right? That's a lot of buying and selling, right? Institutions, that's not institutional order flow. Where most of the orders are sitting are in between right here and right here, because that's where that 45-minute candle is. Okay. The 61-minute imbalance, meaning only one type of orders in an area. Yeah. So yeah. There was no. So if in this case here, on the 45, right? We have sell side, right? When price came up, as price traded down, there was no buying allowed. This was all just selling afterwards. So price needs to ultimately come back and mitigate in here and in that small little area in here. Yeah. Yeah, you do need to go through all the time frames. Yep, absolutely. I love it. How you wish you started with this and not EMAs. So this is the only thing I will tell you this, right? If you didn't start with the retail mindset, you wouldn't know what to look for now. Okay. So, all right. So that's EJ, right? I'd be looking in here for EJ for sells. All right. That 45 minutes where I'd be looking. Let's talk about GJ or GU since Sango is here. So listen, I'm going to give a shout out to Sango. We had this marked up and I didn't put the order in, man. I did not put the order in off the 80%. I kicked myself for it. So this was the 42-minute candle. We had the 80% marked up. It was a large stop loss, but that was the best we could do, right? 13 pips. And this stupid thing ended up going right to where I was looking for a buy right in here. So this was a 1 to 13. Yeah. It is what it is. It is a random number. So but it's also still a time frame, right? You got to think of it like this. It's an algorithm, right? A computer is the one that is filling these orders and creating the movements. So everybody has the 15, the 30, the 1 hour, the 5 minute, right? I mean, there's a reason I started looking at the 7, the 8. What was the other one? I used to look at the 27 minute, right? I used to look at the 27 minute. That gave, son of a gun, that did give some stuff. Even look at this 27 minute right here. Look at this candle right here that we could potentially play off of, you know. You just got to mix it up. You know, you got to see where that volume is sitting. All right. Looking for this on GU. All right. And I'll take a look at GJ as well. I didn't forget about GJ. All right. So my only question is this. Why look for this entry right here? Right? Why look for that entry? So, and the reason I'm asking is this. So what is maintaining bearishness, right? So right now, this is maintaining bearishness off of this chart, right? We did have an area of demand, all right? Price, and I agree with you. Listen, I was looking for a buy here as well off this sell, all right? However, I wouldn't be looking for a buy until, if this is the mitigation, we made this low, and this is just internal. This is internal structure. We made this low, meaning this is what I would need to break before I could take this entry. All right. Because we haven't broken anything yet. There's no structure that's been broken. And for me, I always need a break of structure. That's what just keeps the losses away. All right. Breaks of structure keep the losses away, in my opinion. You got to think outside. You got to think outside the box, bro. You got to. Let's see what you got on the 5 minute. Yeah. Let me just see. Hold on. Did it print a schematic on the 1? I mean, it does have a schematic in there. It does have a schematic, but I would still, at this point, we're outside of the schematic. So it's one thing. I would have done it. I would have done an entry off of this if when we broke this, we came down. But instead, what do? We had a reaccumulation, right? So if this would have come down here, I would have taken the entry here to go higher. But we've left it. We've left it. So for me, if I'm going to take the extreme, I need a break of structure. That's what I require. So I need a break at least order flow. And right now, like when you're looking at this, right? What's the order flow? Is the order flow bullish? Because the answer is no, the order flow is not bullish yet, right? I would want us, let me see, did we break this yet? Yeah, we haven't even broken this high. you know, at the very minimum, we need to break this, right? Because these are our lows, right? So this is on order flow. This is what's maintaining bearishness on the order flow. So if we break above that, then okay. I mean, I could see that potentially there. But just keep in mind where we are in the higher time frame, right? Higher time frame, where am I looking for us to come to? Well, we have to do one of two things, right? This is the extreme of the leg, right? Way down here. And because this is the extreme, I was looking for us to give a schematic where it did, right? But I wanted the schematic to break structure, and it never did. We never traded above. So right now we're like in the middle of nowhere. So I can't confirm bullish order flow on the higher time frame yet. And I can't, you know, right now I can't do anything with GU. I either need us to make a new high or I need us to trade lower so that I can sell down into this area here. Okay. We played into the 4-hour POI, which is reacted off to the left. I'm looking at it. So we played off of the 4-hour POI. But what's the POI? You're talking about this 4-hour, but what's that POI? What did this 4-hour do? Did this 4-hour break structure? Right? Did this leg break structure? Because the answer is no, it didn't. It didn't do anything. It actually just mitigated out of here and caused the sell. So for me, there's no trade. For me, I can't do anything until we either make a new high, and then, I mean, you could see this 4-hour candle all day long. I'd be playing, if we made a new high, I'd be looking to play into this to go higher, or we need to trade lower. We need to trade lower so that I can work a sell down into this extreme over here. That's how I look at it. Looking at the H4 leg, you just how deep does it have to go? I mean, it just has to, you just have to, I mean, yeah, like I have to see it, you know, it's, for me, it's very subjective. You know, everybody could probably see the legs differently. I could tell you that I would be looking, you know, it has to be a significant move, right? So like, I wouldn't consider this a leg, right? Price doesn't make this to this to this to this to here and do that, right? That's not the leg. For me, from here, after this break, this entire thing is a leg because we truly don't get a pullback, you know, on the higher time frame. Now on the intraday, yes, we've broken structure. On the intraday, we've broken it. We are bearish on the intraday, not on the higher time frame though. So that's why for me, I would have needed this. I needed this to go higher. If this would have gone higher, I would have played off of this. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Okay. Bro, how do you type in the time frame you want to go to? How do you type it in? You just click on your chart and then just 45 minutes, you can type that. If you want a 4-hour, just do 4H. If you want a 1 week, 1W. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. All right. All right, cool. You got the SOS. Would I set a limit? I won't set a limit till after, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I won't set a limit till I go to bed. Let's see. We got a sign of strength. No, we don't have it. I don't have a sign of strength yet, bro. Yeah, not until we take out this stuff here. I would need that right up there to get taken out. So we take out that, then yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And what did we play into? So we played into, what did we play into? Did we trade? We traded below that. We came into, come into that 2-minute. No, come into the 3. Came into, no, let's go to the 4. 4 was mitigated. Where's that 5? Where's that 6? I'm still, I'll tell you what though, I'm still active in it. Like I'm still holding my position on it. It is a valid schematic though, but we need a break structure. So for me, we need to make a new high here. We take that out, then I'd be playing off of this right here. Be playing that. Okay. Yeah, good, very good. Cool. All right. Man, where'd I leave off? It's 9 o'clock, man. My wife's gonna kill me. All right. Let's see. GU. All right, hold on. Somebody wanted me to look at GJ, right? So let's look at GJ real quick. What was this? This was GU. Yeah. And hey, listen, just keep in mind, I don't know if you guys look at the pound futures, right? Pound futures, though, we got a potential for coming lower. If you look at the 4 hour, right? If we look at the 4 hour and the pound futures, I'm looking here. I'm looking, is that the daily? Hold on, what do I got? Is that the daily? No, 12 hour. Yeah, there we go. Looking at this 12 hour. This is where I want us to come into. So now we've made this low and same thing, right? We never broke above this high. So we're kind of just stuck in the middle. So I want us to come down a little lower before going higher. Yeah. Put the limit on the extreme, bro. You know it, man. You know it. Is the extremes the one that passed your FTMO? So I'm still in. Could you quickly go over US 30 if we have time? Yeah, we can. Let me do GJ real quick. All right, so GJ. All right. I'm pretty confident that we are still mad bullish on this. I could be wrong, though. I haven't looked at GJ in a minute. Yeah, we're still mad bullish on this damn thing. All right, GJ. It's been a while since I looked at GJ. This is the last area I wanted to look. I wanted to get into that. All right, so 4 hour, this is what's maintaining bullishness, right? So we could 147.50, geez, that's a ways. All right, so that's what's maintaining bullishness on the 4 hour. Let's look at a 30 minute. What we got on the 30? What we got on the 30? We have all right, hold on. Let's go to the 15. We have a distro walking itself down. Have we broken any structure? We have not broken anything yet. Okay. So we have our high. This breaks structure here, right? So when we're looking at what price is doing, right? This was the lower time frame break of structure, all right? Leg wise, what I need to see though is I need to see us break structure before I look for a buy. So this was distribution, right? That looks like it mitigated out of here. We made a new low below here. So this is our leg like this. This is our new low. So I need price to break structure before I look at anything. So we need to break above here. So we break above here. You're looking at this, right? That's what you're looking at. No, you're looking higher. You're looking there. Hold on. Why are you looking there? Let me get down. Give me a sec. Let me look at the 5. What did this come into? This came into what we got here. 10 minute. 8, 7. Okay. All right. So you want to play off the reaccumulation then. That's what you want. You want to play off of this reaccumulation. Did you see a redistro in GJ near your distro? Did I see a redistro? You're talking about, so this is the distro. Not a redistro that I would play off of. Like this is garbage, and because I'll tell you now, that's all part of the distro. That's not a redistro. Yeah, for me, that's part of the distro. Yeah, here's your trading range. So this right here is your major sign of weakness. This right there is your LPSY. Yeah, that's part of the distro. That's not a redistro. That's a part of the distro. Yeah, I was looking at this area right here, but how much you want to bet? That is yellow. I could just tell by the garbage price action that's Asian session. Oh, look at that, Asian session. Yep, Asian session. So, yeah. Okay, I could see what you're looking at. This is how I would play this though. For me, there's no limit order on this. I would need to see a schematic because this slingshot, and it's truly not even a slingshot. This reaccumulation, truly the slingshot would be in here, and this price action is just garbage. But I can see why you would be looking in here, right? That is a demand area. It's a reaccumulation. But I would need this to break first. I need us to break structure because right now we're still bearish. We're still bearish. Yeah. How do you know which structure to break? What do you mean which structure? So like you're talking about on GJ?
Yeah, on GJ, like you were saying that I need this structure to break.
Right.
I was asking like which structure particularly that you look for to be broken.
Just so the legs, right? The legs. So in this case here, we know that this was the very first break of structure right here, right? And this was on the lower time frame. So from here, what did price do? We made a low, we made a new low. So this is the leg, right? And then we made a new low. So this is the leg. So I always need a leg to break. Yes, we are bullish on this. It would be different if we had a schematic, right? Because if we have a schematic, all I care about is structure inside of the schematic, right? So if we get something like that, that would be the break of structure that I would be looking for, and I take the entry here. But because we don't have a schematic, I need the leg structure to break. So this is what I would need to get taken out, right? Because this would one, invalidate bearish order flow. Two, it would be bullish structure on the leg side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So down there with that low at, that's not a accumulation pattern.
This one here?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. So like the only thing that sucks is that for me, there'd be no entry on that. Yeah, like it's a really ugly, maybe like type 4 that, yeah, I mean, it's just ugly. Like I would never have traded it. Yeah. But
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if this, let's just say hypothetically this printed and we got this, right? So we got our 3 drives, our spring. This is the high because low. This is the high. We break structure. I'll be taking an entry off of this because we're in a schematic. But all I care about is life inside the schematic. I don't care about anything outside of it if I can validate the schematic. If I'm not in a schematic, I need to follow true structure. So in
perfect.
This case,
So you need like a break of structure first.
Yeah.
If you can't find a break of structure, you're gonna play out the properly printed schematic.
Yep. So just like this reaccumulation that happens here, right? You got your attempted distro, you get your creek, right? What did price do? If this would have traded higher and broken this high, I would have been looking for price this is your slingshot, right? Price comes into the slingshot and does what? Price comes in, gives 1, 2, 3 drives. Actually, it does break structure right here, does break structure. So you could have taken this entry if you were gutsy enough. Like if this is one of those where you're like, I'll throw $10 at it, or I would have been looking for price to come into this 1 minute candle, right? Off of that. I wouldn't have needed any other structure break because we're in a schematic, and in the schematic, all I care about is the box, right? So I'm just curious. Hold on, I'm going to see. Gotcha. I'm going to see what the heck this would have been if I would have taken, let's just say, 50% of that 1 minute, 1.6 pips. What would this have been? This would have been a 1 to 30. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those where you just throw a couple bucks at it. Like if you would have thrown $100 at this, you would have made $2,700 on this play. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah, but that reaccumulation is how I would have taken it. All right. I don't like Asian session. I don't. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Okay, so that's GJ. That's what I would wait on GJ. I do agree with taking the entry from there. Yeah, I do agree with taking the entry from there. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, well, it is the very nature of being fractal. I mean, yeah, if you understand what the schematic's doing, you definitely will get a really good look at it. Man, NZD CAD, I got nothing on. Like, I want to say it's just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. This thing's making a new low. I wanted to sell it from up here, but it's decided against that. This stupid thing, I really wanted it to come down here, but this is just ugly price action. UCAD, sure. Yeah, we could take a look at UCAD. Let me get look at gold and silver first. So silver. So silver gave a really nice schematic in here. I am still looking at this area in here. Now, what do we do from a leg perspective, right? So we came here, right? Actually, I take it back. We came here because we haven't made a new high yet, right? We haven't made a new high. So that's why this area here, you can see, what did I want? I wanted us to make a new high. So we haven't made a new high. So truly what's maintaining bullish structure is this over here. So for me, this limit order is still valid. If we do trade down into this area, and that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my alert, see if I can catch this during New York. If we do trade down into this area and we get a schematic, I would take it, right? But we would need a schematic. Yeah, we would need a schematic, but I'm still bullish on it. I still like, there's definitely some good divergence between silver and gold. Price action on this is definitely cleaner than the one on gold. Gold is a mess. Gold is a mess. I did this break. Hold on. Yeah, it did break. Look at that. Looky. So we broke. I'll tell you right now, I'd be looking at this. I'd be looking for a schematic in here, right? That's what I'd be waiting on. That's what I would be waiting on. And of course, this is the extreme of the leg. We've broken 4 hour. Yeah, we've broken 4 hour right here. So I do like how the 4 hour looks. Just the lower time frame looks like crap. So I'm curious to see, did we trade into the 12 hour? We did trade into the 12 hour. Is that the daily? Yeah, we tapped right into the daily open. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I'm looking, even though gold right now is bearish. I told myself that if we traded into the weekly candle, which, right, I've been saying we're coming for the weekly candle forever. We traded into the weekly candle and we respected it so far, right? We haven't traded below it. I said that if we get a schematic on a higher time frame, that I would be interested in taking the buy. Well, we have a type 4 schematic with a break of structure. So now it's just a matter of getting something clean. And like I said, gold really hasn't given me anything clean. Silver, on the other hand, gave me a clean entry right here off the 15 minute, was it? Or the 10? Off the 10. Yeah. Silver gave me a clean entry right here. 50% of the 10-minute candle is what I took off of this test. And then I was looking for a re-entry here, just never gave it. Am I still in gold? So I closed out half of what I have, but I am still, I'm holding a 0.05, holding a 0.05 on it. So I caught this 2-minute distro off the 50% of the 1 hour. Do you think you can give me some tips about how to exit efficiently? All right, hold on. Let's see. On EU. All right, so, all right, hold on. Let me go to EU. Let's see. Secondary EU, and then I'll look at US 30. All right, so hold on. So I'll tell you right now, I All right, so we are in the world's ugliest reaccumulation, which is a slingshot. So that's why this accumulation was valid. And right now, this is what's maintaining structure on the leg. Let's go to the 1 hour. Man, so I'll be honest. Like, who's this? Ryan? Was that you? That yeah. I mean, I don't see this holding. The reason I don't see this holding is, what did this ugly schematic do? Nothing. It didn't break any structure. We didn't take out any high, right? We didn't take out a leg, anything like that. I mean, I could see that coming down. Yeah, I could see it coming down. Like, there is no reason for price to go higher right here. Like this, all of this is really crappy. You got in off of, wow, okay. I see what you did. All right. Yeah, that was kind of ballsy. Good. I'm glad it played out. I wouldn't have taken it, me personally, because this didn't break structure. That's just me though. This right here, off of the schematic, I would have needed to make a new low. Yeah, I would have just needed a new low, but it worked out. I mean, it played out pretty nice for you. I would, yeah, I mean, I don't think this reaccumulation is going to hold, just because it didn't cause a new high or a new low. Like when you're looking at it from a 30, yeah, let's go to the 30. When you're looking at it from a 30, we didn't break any structure. This here isn't structure. This is noise. This is nothing. Structure, this is, right? This is that leg that creates this. So this is what's maintaining bearishness. Yeah. So I honestly could see this coming down. What I would be doing is I'd be looking, all right, so off of the, what is it, the 4 hour? So I would be looking if price does make a new low, right? I probably would partial out at this low. And if price takes out this wick, which is probably right around here at like 1.18, if price takes out this wick, you know that it's going to come down into this, because this is what's maintaining bullishness. So I would honestly be looking to hedge a buy from here, and that way it'll protect yourself. So, like wait for the schematic. If you get the schematic, you get the confirmations, you get entry here, it goes to break even, close out of your sell, close out of the sell, and now you're protected and you're risk free on the buy to take it up to potentially target this high up here if we're going to take it. Okay. Oh, there you go, man. Yeah. Yep. There is a clean distro number 2. What, on EU? What, on what time frame?
Might go to the 50% of 1 hour. Yeah, and go there. Zoom it into
right here.
Yeah. Zoom it here on the 1 minute.
Hold on.
More to the left. To the left, more.
To the left, up here?
Yeah, up there. And there is 50% of 1 hour. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about, bro. Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, we still, like here, let's just look at it like this, right? So price made a low, made a new low. Here's the structure leg. Then we make this, but we don't make a low yet. So we're just sideways. So this, I could see this distro playing out. So wait a minute. Man, would I have taken this? Hold on. I would have played off of that. Yeah. I would have played off of that because I would have seen this distro right here. I would have seen that distro and I would have played off of here. Hold on. Let's look. Let's look what the heck I would have done. All right. Let's go 2 minute. Let's see. Let's see. 2 minute was your entry. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. What would I have played? All right. All right. So we have blind climax, secondary test, up thrust, UTAD, right? UTAD. Yeah, there wouldn't have been no test entry because UT, this is structure. We never break structure. So I would have needed a structure break. Structure break happens. We have another schematic in here, right? 1, 2, 3 drives. So this is LPSY. I would have been playing off of that. So now it's just a matter of find the candle that is in that. So let's see. We look at 3 minute. We look at 4 minute. We look at 5, 6, 7. Maybe that's 7. Hold on. Let me start again. All right. So we have 1 minute, 2 minute. This is the 2 minute you played off of right here. Is that the 2 minute you played off of?
No. There was the schematic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I wouldn't have played off the schematic. I would have played off of this though.
Okay.
Yeah. Above the mitigator of the distro, and then takes liquidity above to mitigate out of the distro, and then take liquidity below. Sense just go take the risk, I guess. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, for me, like I said, I always just need to break a structure. Yeah, not to say you do. I know, like I said, for me, if you haven't heard me say it, it's for me to risk $1 million on a trade, I need to break a structure. So, all right. All right. So that's the 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute. All right. 5 minute. Does this 5 minute mitigate 50%? Not yet. All right. All right. So play off that 7 minute. It's at 50%. No. Okay. 10 minutes, 50% though. All right, got it. Okay, so I would have played. All right, so that's a 10 minute. What's the 15? What's the 12? 12 minute. All right, bam. 12 minute. All right, 12 minutes there. What's our 20 minute? 25. All right, so I would have split my order. That's how I would have done it. I would have taken an entry, and just to be safe, I got filled. I would have played it off that imbalance fill. I would have played it like off of that, off of this, and then my second entry would have been here. I don't know, where did that play off of? Son of a gun, look at that. Right there. Yep. That's where I would have played it. So I would have played it off of this. And yeah, you got the schematic in there, which is fine. Yeah. I mean, you got the schematic in there, that's fine, but that would have been my play. Because on the schematic, for this schematic, we didn't break structure down below, but we did validate this schematic here. So because of this schematic, I wouldn't be taking the entry off of that. I'd be taking the entry off of this. So what would that have been? That would have been a 1.3 pip stop. I would have taken it off of that. Yeah, 1 to 53. Yep. Yeah. I would have played it off of that. Yeah. Well, Patrick, apparently you knew so much about EU, but I didn't quite see you this morning on the Zoom call sharing EU or anything, bro. Yeah. So anyway, that's how you backtest. That's a good example of how you backtest, right? Come in, get the idea, figure out what you want to play off. In this case, I would have split the risk. I would have done 2 entries because there's no point in risking the whole thing. I would have done to the top of that one right there. And then if that one got clapped out, I would have done this one here to here, right here, to that right there. So that's how I would have done it. All right. And the reason I would have done it this way, just to give you guys an idea, right? So let's just do it this way. Okay. So just to kind of do like some little, all right. So I would have risked normally, say this is my FTMO account and I risk 0.25%, right? $250. So I'm going to split the risk. Okay. I'm going to split the risk. And instead of doing one position from here with the risk up to this right here, okay, 2.8 pips. And let's just say risking $250, right? So this trade, I would have made 61.60 is what I would have made on this trade. Okay. Now on the first trade, on this trade right here, I would have made 66.15. All right. So this one here was 61.60. This one here was 66.15. All right. So I would have made more by taking the split risk off of this. And let's just say this gets clapped. So I lose $125. And then the next one actually takes, right? Well, this is 58,883, right? Minus the 125. So I would have been at like 57.58, right? So I would have made a little less than this, but this one here was worth it for me to take that entry. Okay. Hold on, my bad. Yeah, give Patrick some crap, man. I have 11 kids to feed. Yeah. You were filling numbers into my calculator. Well, maybe you should have used C-Trader. I hear C-Trader is such a better platform. Yeah. Awesome. Without the beer, I would not have taken this, I think. Yeah. No, I wouldn't have taken it either. But I would have taken it off of this right here. I would have taken it off of that, right? This schematic was validated. So I would have taken that one entry. I wouldn't have taken the entry off the distro just because this didn't break and make a new low. But it doesn't mean that other people couldn't do it. Like my rules are my rules just because of how I like to trade. Like I said, I mean, if I'm going to risk $1 million on a trade, I'm going to risk $1 million on a trade. So, am I still doing the journaling video? Yes, I will get to the journaling video. All right. Absolutely. I will. I promise. I will work on it. I probably will work on it maybe like Sunday or Monday. Okay. Yeah, I just got busy. All right. US 30. I know someone asked me about US 30. So US 30, man, I'll tell you right now, US 30 has got to come way the hell down. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like the reason I'm preferring Nasdaq is because we are so overextended. I need us to come down into this for me to look for a buy, right? 230 call. Yeah. Oh, Kevin took it. Did Kevin take the trade? EU trade? He did, bro. I need to tell Kevin he needs to start sharing that stuff in the chat, man. Yeah. I mean, if I would have seen that distro, I would have taken it. I just wasn't looking at EU. Okay. What's happening lower time frame? So I know I know you were looking at this lower time frame in here. Yeah, for me, I'm not interested in this one bit. Not here. Is it? Yeah. So this is the SC that made the new high, but this is just the wrong time, right? This is Asian session, and nothing good ever comes out of Asian session except for that one NJ trade. That was it. So I would be looking down into this extreme if we're going to continue with order flow. So I guess the question is, what candle is that? So it is Yeah, look at that 20-minute candle, man. See, this is where it's just not worth it. Was this the 9:30 open? No, it wasn't. This is just stuff that's not even worth it. All right, so let's just see. I mean, this is going to be a ridiculous stop loss. All right, well, that candle 50%, so maybe that's something we can work with. Let's go into that. All right, so the 8-minute and the 10-minute about the same. I like the 8. The 8 and the 7 pretty close. 6 is all right. 6 is right on point. We just got to find some imbalance in there. And there's the imbalance. Bam. Okay. There is the imbalance. All right. So let's see if we got it on a lower time frame. Bam. All right. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. So it's right there on the 80. What would this limit order be? This limit order would be a whopping 27 points. All right. I mean, it ain't no it ain't no 100-point stop loss or anything, but 27 points I can deal with. It's 80% lines up with that imbalance, which also I guarantee you would probably be pretty close to 80% of that 4-minute. Yeah, pretty close. We're off by 2 points. So I'd be looking at that for New York session to trade into that to go higher. Yeah, I'd be looking at that. But here's the problem. Like, what's the targets? I mean, a new high. That's the only thing. That's why I don't want to buy it from this high. Yeah. 27 points, a Gold Cup win. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Anything else? Any last things you guys want me to? NU? We looked at NU. It looked like crap. What do you mean AU? We looked at AU. We looked at AU. It was on there. It was the first thing we looked at on the primary watch list. Hey, Scott, do me a favor, Scott. Don't set limits off your slingshots anymore, Scott. All right. Silver? Yeah, we talked about silver already. Yeah, just rewind the video. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make him go on the YouTube live. That's what I'm going to make him do. So, all right, guys, cool. Any last questions? Nothing else? Cool. All right. Sounds good, guys. Listen, yeah. We'll see how tomorrow goes. You know, I'm going to be watching some stuff. I like it. I do like that EJ. I like UJ. Just be mindful of this, right? So if you trade indices like to trade like the yen futures, right? So if the yen is going to be appreciating, we would anticipate that the indices going higher, right? So lo and behold, it looks like we're getting the yen in a schematic right now. Look at this in a schematic. So if this is telling us that this is going to go higher, it's also going to tell us that the indices are going to go higher. All right. So stop. There we go. All righty. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Awesome. My wife's going to kill me. She always laughs when I tell her I'm only going to be like an hour and a half on this call. So no worries, guys. Thank you very much for hopping on. Like I said, if you guys want info for the boot camp, hit me up on IG or just go on my YouTube page. If you go on my YouTube page, it's in the links, right where all the other stuff is. All right. Other than that, I'll catch you guys later, man. Enjoy. Have a good one. Thank you for hopping on.